Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today it's kind of exciting for me because I'm continuing a part 2 series on how to zero-based budget. Now I showed you guys how to monthly budget and I'll link it right over here if you haven't watched it, but basically I went through all the breakdown of how to create a month budget and everything. But now I'm gonna get into how to visualize it to start creating a paycheck budget. So I have all my notes, everything that I took, you know, all of this, and now we are going to transfer all this information with the dates, because I did say the dates were important, and we're going to put this in a calendar visual for you to see, so you guys can see your expenses, you guys can see your bills and your paychecks of when they're going to hit. So if you're interested in how to grab all this information that we wrote down and extract it and put it in a visual format in your monthly budget, then follow along. So of course what you're gonna need, and I always recommend this no matter what, if you're an online person, like you want your spreadsheet, you can do whatever you want, but this is for like my visual people. Like, I need to see this visually, and this will also help you to see if you need to revise things and tweak things here and there, because you can create your budget, right? But you can create it and things might not go the way you want it, so then you gotta find a way to tweak it, and you gotta see like, oh, you know what, I forgot to implement this and I forgot to implement this because you didn't have this in mind. So you need a calendar. So I have my calendar, I have my bills, and I'm gonna lay them down, and then I'm gonna incorporate some of the social things I have in my life, and then be like, oh, I forgot to do this, oh, I forgot to do that, let me add this on. And then we're gonna see, like, you know what, if I get paid here, that means I need to include all of these bills within that paycheck, and so on and so forth. So let's get started. You have your bills, you have your due dates, your minimum payments, and then figure out if you have any social events. You might forget, like I did, that I bought concert tickets like 6 months ago and my concert is this weekend, and I totally had no clue. I totally forgot until I got an email saying, hey, your concert's in a couple of days, don't forget to buy parking. And I'm like, oh, you're absolutely right. So let's get started. I'm not going to use any stickers for now because, like I said, this is for beginners. Beginners don't need anything besides pen and paper, and that's it. You don't need anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay down everything. So of course I have rent on the first. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little box, because I want to make sure that when it's rent, I check it off because I paid it. I haven't paid it yet, but we're still in July, so it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put rent right over here, and I'm going to put $10.95. Haven't paid it, so I don't get to check it off. So next I'm gonna go down this list. So I've rent on the first, then we have electricity on the 6th. So we're gonna move here. I'm gonna put a box right over here, and I put electricity. This one is $79.80. Now I'm putting this one on here because I'm gonna make sure my boyfriend pays it, and there's no forgetting this time around, because Lord, no one needs that. So now we have natural gas out of the way. This, we're not even gonna worry about it. We're only gonna worry about things that have a due date. So I have my phone bill on the 13th. So I'm gonna go ahead and write phone bill. And then this one is $57. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 57 buckaroos right there. Now we have the internet. The internet needs to get paid on the 19th. Of course, like I mentioned, this does not go on my monthly budget, but just so you guys can have a visual of it, I'm gonna put it on my calendar for the 19th. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a little box so I can check off later, and then just gonna put internet. And internet for me is $70.99. Like I said, this isn't a business expense, but it doesn't matter. So now that we have our 4 walls, let me go ahead and open this up. I have a big planner, you guys. This is an 8.5 by 11. If you're interested in what planner I'm using, I'll still have it linked down below, that I like Franken planned. So I have my rent, electricity, phone bill, internet, and I actually do have my car insurance note with me, so I'm gonna grab that and I'm gonna write it down as well. Okay, so I grabbed it, and my actual bill is actually due on the 19th as well. And that one, I'm gonna put a little thing right here and put car insurance. And that one is actually $124.18. So in my month budget, I actually did over budget slightly, but which is good. You want to over budget instead of under budget, because that's the whole point about budgeting. You want to make sure you're safe and not undercutting yourself, because otherwise that's a big problem that you're going to have to probably fix with overtime, second job, or just selling a lot of things, recycling, anything that you can think of. Okay, 4 walls are done. They are done. We're not gonna put any like groceries or anything, because that's gonna be taken out in your paycheck that you're gonna break down later. We just want to make sure that you have all your bills. So now that you have your 4 walls down, now you gotta move on to your day. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 debts that I need to include in this calendar so I can see it and I know that they need to get paid. So A firm is due on the 17th. So I'm gonna go right over here and put A firm. A firm. I'm gonna put, I need to pay $47.74. If you're wondering where these numbers are coming up, just go ahead and check out the how to zero-based budget. I laid out all the numbers. This is just putting it down in a calendar so you can visually see. Next, we have my city card on the 22nd. So I'm gonna go ahead and put city card. And this one is a minimum payment of $25. Now we have Best Buy on the 21st. And this one is $32. Then we have Target on the 19th as well. Well, the 19th looks pretty heavy now. So we have Target. And this one is $31. And on that same day, I have Bank of America that needs to get paid. And this one is $35. Do you see my 19th of the month? It's looking pretty full already. Alright, so now we are moving into JCPenney. JCPenney is due on the 23rd. So I'm going to put a little box, JCPenney. And then this one is $74. I then have Credit Union on the 8th. This one is $274. And then I have my student loan on the 25th of every month. It'll probably get taken out on Friday, but it doesn't even matter. I'm just going to put it here. Student loan. And this one is $140. Right over here. Alright. So now we have all of our debt down. We got it visualized on our calendar. Now you gotta really think and see what you forgot. So I forgot I have a concert on the 3rd. So I gotta go ahead and put a little checkbox right over here and put concert. I forgot I was going to a concert, you guys. I remember I bought this for my sister's birthday and I'm gonna go see the Backstreet Boys. I know, right? Now, I did ask my sister if she can pay for parking, so she is gonna pay for parking. That's $25 that I had not budgeted for, which reminds me, I gotta text her because it's already, what, Tuesday? And she said she was gonna send me the money today or tomorrow, so I'm just gonna let her know, you know, the concert's coming up. But there's also a lot of part that goes into going to a concert. I like having beers, so I'm gonna budget for a beer and probably a snack over there. I know. You don't have to do any of this. You could just pay for your concert and go look at them. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and budget out $30. I'm gonna go ahead and budget out $30. Pretty sure I'm gonna get like one drink and that's it, because I am pretty sure at the Staples Center it's gonna be ridiculously overpriced. So I have my concert, and then I can't forget that on the 20th I have Disneyland. And my budget for that is gonna be $200. So I gotta make sure that is accounted for in my entire budget. So that is it. I have now fully completed my calendar. As you guys can see, it's all set up. So I know I'm gonna get paid on the 31st, which is Wednesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and put payday right here. Payday. So payday is here. And I'm gonna make sure that in 2 weeks I'm gonna get paid again. So I got paid here. I'm not getting paid here, but I'm gonna get paid here. So the 14th. So I'm gonna put payday. And then we're not getting paid here, but I'm gonna get paid on the 28th. So I'm gonna put payday. Is it a magic month? I don't think it's a magic month. I think I'm basing it off on how late my paychecks come, but just know, put your paychecks when you're gonna accept them. Like, I know a lot of people, direct deposit hits like Thursday night or Friday, so just hit. If you get paid twice this month, you get paid twice. If you get paid 3 times, just mark that you get paid 3 times. If not, you get paid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fridays. Awesome, it's there. So now you have your paydays, and now what you're gonna do is that you're gonna include everything that this payday can cover into your next paycheck. So I'm gonna grab some highlighters so I can let you guys see. Okay, I have my highlighters. So I have purple, blue, orange, pink, yellow, and green. To me, paydays represent green because that's what you're getting, and blue because, you know, that is what you have okay with. So you can grab any color. If you have 5 paychecks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you just grab as many as you need. Or if you don't care to, you'll be fine. So the first payday I'm gonna do is gonna be green. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, this is gonna be my payday. I'm getting paid right there. Let me zoom you guys just in a bit so you guys can see. So I know my next payday is not until the 14th. So I gotta highlight everything this paycheck needs to cover. So it needs to cover part of my rent, because I have my rent, but we're not gonna worry. But this is already paid for from my previous month. But just know that, you know, it has to cover rent, well, part of my other rent. So I'm gonna put this rent. It has to cover my Backstreet Boys concert of $30. It has to cover electricity. It has to, even though it's my boyfriend's, I'm just doing this for visual purposes. Has to cover this credit union payment. No matter what, it has to cover it, because credit union is gonna pull out of my bank account no matter what. And then right before I get another paycheck, my phone bill needs to be covered. So we're gonna highlight that one because it needs to get covered by that paycheck. So now you have a representation of what your first paycheck needs to cover. So your first paycheck needs to cover, like if you do me, half of the part of your next month's rent. So I will take out, you know, part here. And then I need to cover for my expense to go to a concert, electricity, my credit union payment, and my phone bill. It needs to be able to cover that. Now we're gonna move on into our next paycheck, and then you're gonna see what that paycheck needs to cover. So my next paycheck is on the 14th. Sorry. And I'm gonna highlight that in blue so I know to visually see what that paycheck needs to cover. The first thing that hits is A-Firm. So we're gonna go ahead and hit A-Firm needs to be covered. Internet needs to be covered. Of course, this is a business expense for me, but just for video purposes, my car insurance needs to be covered by that. My Target, my Bank of America, Disneyland needs to be covered by then. Then I have my Best Buy. I have my Citi card. As you guys can see, Penney. This bottom part of my paycheck, this paycheck needs to cover a lot. And last but not least is my student loan. It needs to get covered. So that's a whole lot of covering for one paycheck. But if you put this all together, credit union and these tiny bills will equal to that. So just know that it doesn't matter how many tiny payments, sometimes a little bit can add up to all of this. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, you have one more. You're like, oh, that's a happy one. But you gotta understand, even though you paid all of these, this is not free money. Then you need to start, this paycheck needs to start accounting for everything in September. So we're gonna go ahead and highlight this with a different one. And then you're gonna see, oh, okay, this paycheck is not covering anything anymore for August. This paycheck now belongs to September. So that is how that's gonna work. And now what you're gonna have to do is break this down into a paycheck budget. So I'm gonna grab a piece of paper so then I can break it down for you. All right, I have my piece of paper and I'm just gonna go ahead and title this bi-weekly paycheck. And then I'm gonna put the dates that it's supposed to cover. This is just so I know what I'm covering and how many times I'm getting paid. I get paid bi-weekly, so it's gonna be named bi-weekly. So bi-weekly paycheck, and it's gonna cover the 1st to the 13th. That's where the green ends. So the first one to the 13th, because that's where all that paycheck needs to cover. We're not gonna go any further than that unless you can allow yourself to cover some more bills. But first, just put down your the little necessities, because we still have to go through your monthly, you know, food, gas, and all that. So we're gonna put August 1st to the 13th for my situation. Yours can be from the 1st to the 8th, the 1st to the 14th, whatever is it, how you get paid. Just know that you mark the day before your paycheck hits, like that. You know what it needs to get paid with that paycheck. So the first thing that is an actual bill, we have, let's put expenses, bills and expenses. And then we're gonna put your 4 walls, because that's what needs to be covered no matter what. So the first 4 wall that I have is my rent. My rent is gonna go here, and half of what I contribute is $3.95, I believe. I'm gonna put $3.95 because that's half of my $7.95, I believe. So my rent is $1,095. My portion is $795. So let's go over here. My portion is $7.95, and if I divide that by 2, $3.98 actually. So close enough. Good thing I checked. So my portion is $3.98 for rent. Let's move that a little bit further. The next 4 wall is electricity, but I don't take care of that. My boyfriend does, so we're not gonna worry about that in my budget. But if you are responsible for it, add it. And then the next 4 wall that I have is my phone bill. And that one is $57. I gotta make sure that I pay this no matter what, because that keeps me running with just the basic needs. So then we're gonna come over here and then write down all the bills that need to get paid, or all the expenses that need to get paid. The first expense or bill is my concert. And I have a $30 expense for that. Next is my credit union. My credit union needs to get paid. And that is all the bills that this paycheck needs to handle. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this up. So the total for bills and expenses is, pretty sure it's like 304, but we're gonna write it out for you. 274 plus 30, 304. So my total bills and expenses is $304. Now we're gonna go over here and then we're gonna go ahead and look at our month budget. So I'm gonna push this back a bit so you guys can see what I'm talking about. My month budget right here consisted of gasoline, groceries, and laundry. Everything else is covered or not. We don't have to worry about it yet. So gasoline, I budgeted $140 for the month. Within August, I have 2 paychecks that need to cover that up. So I'm gonna break down these categories by 2 paychecks. So gasoline was $140 for the month, but for a bi-weekly payment, I need to take out $70. So I'm gonna go ahead and put gasoline over here because this is a 4-wall, and it's gonna be $70. Next, I have groceries. I budgeted $160 for the entire month. I have 2 paychecks to cover that budget amount, so groceries is gonna get $80 this pay period. And then I did laundry, $30 for the entire month. So this paycheck that I'm gonna cover half of, laundry is gonna get $15. Now I'm gonna add that up and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna add these up. Sorry, my camera's overheating, so I gotta like pause and stop, pause and stop. So I have $398 plus 57 plus 70 plus 80 plus 15. So I have a total need of $620 for this pay period. So I actually need to fund this so I can survive this paycheck. Sorry, I'm gonna try to zoom you guys in just a bit. So that is how much I need to fund. Let me actually remove my big old thing so I can put it in the front. I need to fund this no matter what. After this will come this. But as you guys saw in my month budget, I want Disneyland. And then I also want to fund my sinking fund and my shutdown. So now we're going to create a miscellaneous category. Miscellaneous basically means things that can happen or you want to happen and you know you kind of want to fund if you have the extra money. So for miscellaneous, like I put concert right here because I already paid for that. So I'm going no matter what. I just want to cover my expenses. Right here I can put Disneyland because I can cancel that whenever I want to. That's not paid for at all. Not yet. I'm saving for it because I want it to happen. So that's why it's not included in bills and expenses for me. It's just called miscellaneous because I want to fund it. But if I don't have the money because my 4 walls and my bills and expenses are taking over my paycheck, then I'm not going to fund it. So it's going to go in this like miscellaneous category of things I want to happen and want to fund if my paycheck allows it. So for miscellaneous, the first thing is Disneyland. Now I did say I had a $200 budget. I have saved $70, so I have $130 to fund behind. So I still have 2 paychecks to go. So if I divide it by 2, I need to take out $65 so I can be on track for those savings. So $65. The next thing I want to fund are my sinking funds. I had a total budgeted amount of $120 for the month. So half of that is 60. So let's do 120 divided by 2. 60. So sinking funds, I want to be able to fund this. And for that to happen on track with my goal for the month, I need to be able to fund 60 if I can. Now the next thing is shutdown. I have a goal of hitting $126 for the month. So 126 divided by 2 means if I want to fund it, I need to take out $63. So shut down is $63. So now that we have that visual in our calendar, we have all the bills that the paycheck needs to fund, and we also have the 4 walls plus your necessities to live as a human, and then your miscellaneous category that you want to fund that you broke down into a paycheck. So now I'm gonna add the total miscellaneous that I kind of want and kind of need for myself if I want to accomplish those goals. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 65 plus 60 plus 63, 188. So I will need 188 out of my paycheck to reach my miscellaneous goal if I want to. Now you have a paycheck, breakdown, but you don't fully have it because now you need your income. And your income is going to decide what of this is going to get funded. Of course, this is your main priority, this is your second priority, and this is your third priority. So I'm going to go ahead and put paycheck breakdown. And this is just gonna let you see what you can and cannot do. So for my paycheck income, I'm gonna put my income. I get paid $1,248.32 because I'm on a set rate at the moment because I'm on workers' comp because I'm injured with what happened at work. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna subtract my 4 walls. So I'm going to go ahead over here and put 4 walls. And that's $620. And then we're going to see what's left behind. So we're going to do $1,248.32 minus $620. I'm left with $628.32. So I'm going to go ahead over here, $628.32. Next thing your eyes are going to go to here, bills and expenses. So we know that we need $304 for expenses and bills. So I'm going to go ahead and put subtracted, bills, expenses, and that is $304. So we're going to go take our $628 left over with 32 cents, subtracted by 304. We're left with $324.32. So we're going to go over here, $324.32. When I see this number, I'm like, cool, I can fully fund my miscellaneous category. If I see this number and I cannot fully fund this miscellaneous category, I'm going to prioritize which one of these is more important. For me, it would be my shutdown and then my sinking funds and then Disneyland. So you get to like chop off what is it that you can and cannot pay if your leftover does not, you know, meet your needs. But since I know this can cover my entire miscellaneous fund, I'm going to go ahead and put minus miscellaneous. And this is 188. So we're going to go ahead and come over here. And we're going to do minus 188. I'm left with 136.32. This is what I call the leftover, which is where you need to start thinking really hard on what you want to do with this money. Just like I mentioned in my month budget right over here, you need to know what you want to do with this leftover. I know that I want this to be my snowball method, my snowball payment. But if you're not in a snowball payment method or whatever, you're not on a debt-free journey, or you're like on baby step 1 where you need to save up for your emergency, then you know this is going to go to savings. If you're not doing either one and you're saving for retirement, this is going to go for your retirement. Or this is going to go for your vacation that you're planning. This is going to go to somewhere. But assign it a place to go. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put snowball. that is gonna be my snowball for debt. So now that I have $136.32 left over, I know that I'm supposed to have a total of $149.90 on my next, on my entire leftover for the snowball payment, meaning that my next paycheck might be a little tight, because that means most of my paycheck is gonna go towards bills and expenses. So you can also, what you can do is put this money that you have left over and assign it to another bill that's coming up that you're like, you know what, I want to take off a small load off my next paycheck, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay those bills from this leftover. But it just depends on what you want to do, how you want to budget. But that is how you extract all this information, all this data from your debt numbers, from your 4 walls, from your monthly budget into a paycheck budget that works out for you. You can break down your paychecks 4 or 5 times depending how you are paying, once or twice, however you're paid. But most importantly, when you are, considering everything, make sure that you always go back to your month calendar and you're checking off that things are getting paid, because sometimes you get so confident that you might forget, like, hey, you know what, I really did not pay that one, and that one's not checked off. So that is how I extract info from my month budget and, list of things I need to get done and paid for, and put it together into a paycheck and visually have it accountable for me to check off. So I hope you guys learned something from this. Let me know if there's anything you want me to go over, and I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.